Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm back. And Pee-Pee's back. And he's wearing his little blue polo shirt today because he said, Dad, I am blue just like you, and I want to wear the shirt like you too. And he was just walking around in the neighborhood outside in it, and he looks so cute. But anyway, this video will be a little bit different today than what I have posted lately. But before I get into it, please subscribe to my channel if you like what you see. And after you hit the subscribe button, please hit the notification button bell, ding, so that you're notified every time I make a video. I post content daily, so that would mean a lot to me. I would really appreciate it. I just kind of wanted to take to camera today. You know, I've talked a lot on here about how much, I am so in love with doing YouTube, and how it started really with me being on BookTube and making friends on BookTube, and that I wanted to just kind of make a journey of my life on here. And, you know, starting in January, I'm going to vlog every day about my life because I just want to be able to look back on it. And I was thinking about that today because I love interacting with you guys so much, on social media and talking to you, and so many of you send me messages and share really personal parts of your life. And you know, I try to share really honest, personal parts of my life too. And I'm really missing my mom today. And it's really weird when you lose a loved one, as I'm sure many of you relate to. Because as you go through the grieving process, I think you reach a certain point where it's you don't think about that person every day, or you do, but you don't long for them every day. Or you think, God, I wish my mom was here. God, I wish my mom was here. It's at some point, it's just randomly a song comes on the radio that makes you think about that, or just some random small thing. And I was looking at the calendar today, and 2 weeks from tomorrow, if I make it without having a drink or a drug, I will have been sober for 22 years of my life, which is exactly half of my life. And I don't say that arrogantly, but I am very proud of it. It is my number one accomplishment I have ever done in my entire life. Everything I have, my dogs, my relationship with my husband and my in-laws, my relationship with my father and my stepmother and my aunt and uncle and my cousin, the friends in my life, this channel, my book, everything that I have is a result of my sobriety. I should be dead, at best in prison. I had felony charges against me that I had plea bargained down, and I continued to use on them. I should not be here, okay? So a lot of times people ask me about my spiritual beliefs, and well, I've been through so many things in my life that I just have to believe there's a greater purpose for all of this. I just really, really have to believe that. And so I was thinking about that because I haven't talked much about this on this channel, but my mom got sober 6 months after I did, almost to the date. Her sobriety birth date was June 2nd. And had she made it to June 2nd, she would have had 13 years of sobriety. And so the last 12 and a half years of her life was just absolutely amazing together. We shared sobriety. We talked a lot about sobriety together. I come over to her house and drink coffee and sit around and talk books and movies. And it was the relationship with my mom that I had always longed for, that I had never had. And I feel so blessed to have had 12 years of my life with my mom that was just pure. And that's not to say that we didn't argue during those 12 years or disagree. But we had an understanding between us that we didn't have to try too hard to get the other person, if that makes sense. And there was an unconditional love that existed. And, you know, my mom, although a severe alcoholic, really struggled with being an awesome mom when I was growing up. And I mean to tell you, dinner on the dinner table every night, you know, pajamas, baths, games, read me a story every night before I went to bed, took me to the library, was home from there when I came home from school. I mean, my mom was the best mother that she could possibly be. 10 o'clock every night, the alcohol hit, the alcoholic came out, and I lived in fear a lot of my life because of that, in a way that she wasn't even aware of, I don't think, until many years later. to be able to clean up all of that ugliness in my life and to be able to end up having an amazing relationship with my mom is just miraculous. And so every year around this time, it's always the last 2 weeks before my sobriety birthday, I think about those. I mean, I have to just show you guys this. This is so sweet. Can I even show you? I mean, look at PP. To come home to dogs that love you so much, so unconditionally, and all they want is just for you to pet them and to feed them and to play with them for a little bit and to snuggle up next to you in bed is just, I mean, it's just the sweetest thing in the whole world. I love pets so much for that. But, oh, I totally forgot what I was saying. The last 2 weeks before my sobriety birthday every year are always really, really tough for me. I think a lot about what those few weeks, few months leading up to my sobriety were like, how bad my use had gotten, how disgusting my life was, how scared people were for me. And I really believe to some degree that it was a rebirth. I think, like, I was on death's door and didn't even know it, if that makes sense. I mean, when I went into treatment, I blew a .41. I hadn't drank in 12 hours. People die from that. I tested positive for barbiturates, benzodiazepines, opiates, amphetamines, and cannabis. I literally tested across the board on everything that you can probably test positive for, except for inhalants, because I hadn't been inhaling at the moment. I was a walking drugstore. I should have been dead. Life is absolutely this miraculous thing. And I still on a daily basis deal with a lot of hatred and a lot of angry people and a lot of ugliness out there in the world. And I see it and it hurts. And yet I find a smile and I find some hope that maybe they'll find some hope and some happiness, because I think that the world just becomes this better place. And those 2 weeks for me that I look between today and when I got sober on the 17th are hard, because I think at that point I didn't care if I lived or died. Today, I want to live. Life is so awesome. It's so cool. It's such a cool thing, from just a dog shirt to a great cup of coffee to the smell of a brand new candle to the leaves falling to a baby crying. My nephew got his haircut for the very first time. He's going to be 1 in January, and my husband sent me pictures today of him crying while he was getting his haircut, and the joy of that, you know, of a small child, and just thinking about how many haircuts I've had in my life, and you know, and the gratitude to realize that I drink water whenever I want, and there are people around the world that don't have clean water, and just yet they keep going somehow, you know, and that how grateful I should be for, you know, 2 arms and 2 legs and the ability to run and walk and dance. My mom loved to dance. She loved to dance in the kitchen. Somewhere out there right now, somebody's fighting for their life. How dare I ever take a moment of it for granted and not be absolutely protective of the beautiful life that I have. And I think sometimes that's why I miss my mom, because she was somebody that loved life so much. Whether it was a lyric in a song or the taste of a peach, which she would always come in and she'd be like, oh my God, you gotta taste this peach. Or the smell of a flower, or the last good night. So, you know, it's just, I think of all those things and I think about how wonderful the world is, and I love this gig called life so much. I really, really do. It's just the coolest thing in the whole world, you know? Embrace it, love it, dance it. I'll talk to you guys later, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I love you.